What's going on, people? This is Shopsydoo, aka the Energy God Live in the Energy God Studios, and this is Shopsydoo's Insights. Now, just about 24 hours ago, I had the privilege of going to a concert I'd completely forgotten that I had tickets to. This was an R&B Christmas ball put together by the concert organizers. So they're called TCO, TCO Group. I believe it's DJ Silk and DJ Freaky or something like that. Shout outs to the team anyway. So on the lineup was Dru Hill, Joe, Tony Braxton, and Boyz II Men. First of all, I think this was the second date. The first date was at the OVO Arena, and then they had the second night at the O2 Arena, selling about 17,000 tickets. First of all, set times. Set times were strict. They put it online. 6:45, Dru Hill was going to be on stage. So if you're a big Dru Hill fan, you better be in that building at 6:45. Lucky enough, I got in the building around that 6:45-ish, so I caught Dru Hill on stage. The one thing that I noticed throughout the entire night, first of all, artists stuck to time, the set times. Each one of the artists had their own band. So Dru Hill, of course, a group of four, had their live band, 4 or 5 piece band in the background, a different set stage. When they left the stage, 7:35, Joe came on. He had a band of about 5 or 6. They moved the stage around. That's with his instrumentalists and all that. When he was done, Tony Braxton came on stage. She had a band of about 5, including a DJ and hype man, and about 5 dancers. She had a completely different stage that had a step that was just perfect for the diva. And then ultimately, Boyz II Men came on stage. They had their own 6-piece band and 3-man group. Now, one running theme was everybody kept to time. The sound was absolutely incredible. I was up in the O2 Arena at the top, and it almost felt like I was downstairs in front of the stage. Of course, they've got like 100-foot screens, so you could see whoever's performing almost close range like that. And apart from that, the sound was just all around the arena. But more importantly, the artists kept themselves in impeccable shape. Vocally, performance-wise, artists like Dru Hill, they had their combinations. Boyz II Men had their combinations that they've been doing since 1991. Their harmonies, Wanya Morris, Sean Stockton, everything was incredible. The diva Tony Braxton, what an honor to watch her on stage, man. Change of clothing, you know, dancing with the dancers, break my heart. The vocals were crazy. It felt like it was throwback in the 90s. And Joe, what can I say about that brother? Too many hit records. Good Girls, you know my age. Love Scene, the list goes on. And during his set, Joe in particular did something that really, really caught my attention. He had about 3 transitions that were not like his instrumentals when it was changing into a different song that caught my attention. The first one was by Benny Man. Sim Sima, who got the keys to my... Who am I? He used that whilst he was performing to transition into another song. The next one was Doom, Doom, Shake It to the Max. Doom, Doom, Molly. And I'm like, okay, it's obvious that Joe... they're tapping into the culture. They know what's going on. And the final one was, oh my gosh, she get, huh? Essence. He used Essence to transition at the end of Good Girls into another song. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Of course, I'm losing my mind with the R&B hits of the 90s, but to use the Afrobeats records to transition into other songs, one, showed that he was in touch with what's popping in the culture, particularly in the UK. And second of all, it also shows that these guys are in touch with the young generation and they're listening to what's happening. And the most powerful one on the night was the diva Tony Braxton. When they turned down the lights and they said, are you ready for Tony Braxton? Everybody was like, yeah! Everybody kept quiet. The next thing I just heard, He don't cast. Last. Now everybody go chop it for Shayo. She just came out from the ground. Oh my God, I lost my mind. Shayo. And then she switched it back into her own song and kept on singing. That is fantastic. That's bringing everybody on board. She had such an emotional time on stage that she burst into tears a couple of times just because of the reception. Her vocals, it was incredible, man. And apart from that, Boyz II Men as well, during their set, there was a breakdown set where they performed Purple Rain, they performed the Michael Jackson record, they performed the James Brown record, they performed the Whitney Houston record to pay homage to these artists. And also just to really display the different level of talent that these guys have. One thing's for sure, the OGs in the R&B sector, they're enjoying an incredible run right now. If you're following very well in America and in the UK and Europe, these are the cats, men and women, that are really, really successful. You've got Brandy and Monica, you've got Keith Sweat, New Edition, and Boyz II Men in America, and of course, these names that I just mentioned in Europe, which got me thinking, what can we do about our own OGs in Afrobeats and Afropop culture? How can we create a demand that can bring 17,000 people out 2 days in a row? 12,000 at OVO, 17,000 at the O2 Arena, with everybody in the crowd singing, dancing, reminiscing, having a great time, remembering their childhood, their teenage years, the songs that they fell in love to, got married to. We need to do that. And I know that we've got incredible artists that can do it, but what we need to also do is ensure that our young entertainers go out and watch concerts like this and see some of the great artists at the peak of their prowess still sounding just as impeccable, in the right frame of mind, and giving performances that they could have given over 35 years ago. Boyz II Men came out in 1991. Tony Braxton, 1992, 93. You know, you've got Joe, a domination from 1993 that's continued. Drew Hill, the list goes on. Hey, when Drew Hill finished their performance, Cisco came back outside. He said, "It looks like I'm missing something. Is the dragon in the building?" We just said, "Pum, pum, 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 pum." Ooh, that girl's so scandalous. Listen. That was such an amazing performance to go and witness. Fantastic concert. Shout out to the concert organizers, TCO Group. I'm definitely going to be going to another concert of theirs in the future. If you see them advertising anything, make sure you pick a ticket. It's going to be nostalgia and it's really going to fill your heart. You enjoy it. And hopefully we can replicate this in Afrobeats culture. And that's Shopsydoo's Insights.